I've been riding for almost as long as I've been walking, and it was one of the things that kind of gave me reprieve from the things that I didn't like to think about dealing with. The things that were hard. Anytime that you spend time around horses, you know that you have to introduce yourself. It shows them I'm not a threat. I spent a significant portion of my life being known as Elisa McNabney's daughter. I have previously refused to talk just because I didn't want to have to deal with it anymore. I can reflect back on it. It didn't happen to me, I lived through it.
Hayley's mother, the central figure in this saga, grew up in Brooksville, Florida.
Part of a prominent family that had lived there for generations.
We are in Brooksville, where I currently reside and spent a good portion of my childhood.
I mean, this was Mayberry, baby. It was smaller than Mayberry.
I can't go anywhere without running into someone that either knows me or my family. For my mom, horses was always something that made her happy, and she enjoyed, and she wanted to be around them.
I think she was Tom Petty's American girl growing up, without a doubt. She was an American girl raised on promises.
She couldn't help thinking that there was a little more life somewhere else.
And she was a good student, honor roll student.
Super intelligent, just amazingly smart.
What happened to her was she had a boyfriend and she was pregnant and had a child and dropped out of school.
My parents ran away together and got married, divorced before I was born. When she had me, she was 9 days past her 19th birthday.
I believe that she was, in her own way, a good mother for Haylei. But on the other hand, she was a very fragile person who had very little self-confidence. And Haylei felt many times that the mother-daughter relationship was reversed.
I learned how to make broccoli cheddar soup on the stove out of a can. I mean, like, don't be too impressed. I don't think she knew how to put my needs before her wants.
She got in some minor trouble early on. It was always checks, or she had shoplifted some hair coloring. It was always petty things.
Nothing really serious, but she stayed in trouble all the time was a problem.
Had 145 IQ, but she did not grasp balancing a checkbook. Haylei kept the family accounts, managed the checkbook, and kept the checks from bouncing.
For her, it was about fun, until it was not. Until it was about, you know, waking up in the middle of the night and saying, hey, we have to leave because rent hadn't been paid, or she was being evicted.
I think to her, that was normal. This is what Mom and I do. We move once a year, every 6 months.
Then there was one specific incident at Christmas that started a snowball effect. Hayley's mom's new boyfriend was going through a bitter divorce.
She had purchased Christmas presents for his children and had them delivered to the home in an effort to allow him to see the kids on Christmas, but the gesture didn't work. And when the wife said, no, that's not going to happen, she went back in the house, got the presents.
And she got caught.
I think at worst it was a trespass, but she got charged and got put on felony probation.
And then violated her parole, and her parole officer was at the game that she went to.
She was terrified of going to jail and being confined, and that began the cavalcade, that began the avalanche.
She said, Haylei, I have to go away and I'm not coming back. I can leave you here with Grandma and Grandpa, or you can come with me, but I want it to be your choice. I was 8. I didn't even hesitate. I just said, I'm going with you. It felt like life or death. I knew something. I didn't know what was chasing us, but something bad was chasing us. We went to Texas mainly because it's centered around horses. for her, that was always, and for me as well, I loved it because she loved it. It goes back to her kind of always living in that teenage world.
But Haylei says her mom ran into trouble with the law again after she was caught trying to shoplift.
And they took her into custody, and I was hysterical. But she bonded out. So when the situation in Texas didn't work out, her next thought was, well, I'm halfway there. I may as well just go to Vegas. And that was it. We left again.
Haylei pulls into town with her mom, who's going by the name of Elisa, and they rent an apartment in a nice area of Vegas.
But of course, she didn't have enough money for, furniture. So they're sleeping on a pallet, mother and daughter.
Elisa was described by people who knew her or met her as a very striking, even beautiful woman who dressed professionally. She gave off an air of classiness.
Elisa had already gone through a series of difficult relationships in her life, and in Vegas, she finds yet another new boyfriend.
She meets Ken, and he's got an up-and-coming business. She ingratiates herself with him. Pretty soon, she's living with him.
He was wonderful, very kind, and he adored my mother, and my mom was an easy person to love.
Then, pretty soon, he finds out there's charges on his credit card. She had stolen the credit card. I'll marry her. It's this blind spot that men had to her.
She and Kenny got married in a drive-thru in his pickup truck with me sitting in between them and his dog Lars.
He wanted a family. He thought of Haylei as his daughter.
It made me feel safe for the first time in a long time. Like I knew, okay, I know where home is. I kind of relaxed a little bit, and I learned that I should not relax because it could all be gone like that.
If you've been hurt in an accident, the smart thing to do is to hire a lawyer who can take care of business. I can do that. I'm Larry McNabney. Call me.
And she got a job in a law office. She had been there maybe a month before she was telling me that the lawyer that she worked for wanted to take her to dinner.
And that was the beginning of the end of Larry McNabney.
Hi everyone, George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel, and don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.